know that guy? No, I'm kidding.
Oh, no.
Former life.
You know what I used to think about a lot
Hmm.
when I was a kid, a youngster,
What's that?
young lad. You know when you watch the news on Channel 8 or what have you, and it's just a guy sitting behind a desk.
Specifically Channel 8. Yes, I do.
Okay. The moment, like for whatever reason, it might cross your mind. At some point, I feel like you ask yourself, is that person wearing pants behind that desk? And then,
Yeah.
even though you'll never know the answer, it's a question that never quite goes away.
Yeah, you're right. So fun story. I actually, you know how there was like the national news on ABC on
Mm-hmm.
Channel 8.
Right.
But then we had like Region 8 news from Jonesboro.
Mm-hmm.
You remember
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
So I got to take the tour of the Region 8 news setup
No
one time.
way.
Yeah.
You're a hometown hero, man.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
Everybody was wearing pants that day, but I think they knew we
Right.
were coming.
Right. That's what I'm
So,
saying. That's like in general, you just expect that they're gonna be wearing pants.
mm-hmm.
But once it crosses your mind, there's always that question.
Yep. Also, probably my biggest takeaway from that was the newscasters are way less in charge than what I thought.
Interesting, right? They
Yeah.
do convey a confidence.
Yeah, it's their show.
Right.
But then behind the scenes it's just like, are y'all done with me? I'm like, why are you asking the cameraman? You're in charge.
Right.
But
You tell us what to do.
that's right.
Right.
But
That's why we tune in. Sometimes we need some guidance.
yeah, we need to know how worried to be about our neighbors when the tornadoes come.
Absolutely.
Because Lord knows I'm not getting out of bed for them.
Man. But yeah, right? I mean, you see 37 of them, you've seen them all.
Right. I've slept through 4. So
Yep. I'd say
um
about the same.
yeah, so yeah, no, I'm not going to the basement. It's not happening.
Mm-hmm. You had a basement?
No.
Oh.
But if I had one,
Okay.
I wouldn't go.
Fair enough. I remember one danced like right by my bedroom window as a kid.
Mm-hmm. There was one went right behind our house, which is my room was on the back side of the house, and it was like 100 yards away. It was twisting trees together, and I slept right. Apparently, my parents watched it go through out the window.
That's wild.
Which I mean, at that point, what are you gonna do? You go outside, you're gonna get murdered.
Right.
But we just slept through it.
That's crazy. I remember the rain waking me up,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "Whoa, that's loud!" And I looked out the window, funnel cloud, and I was like, "Nice."
If it's gonna be, it's gonna be.
It's one of my earliest memories. Like,
Man, that's.
mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess I could see that. Leaving an impact.
I guess as a kid, I'm just like, sometimes it'd be dark outside.
Yeah.
And then you just live, you keep going.
Yeah. I tell you, the trippiest thing that I can remember weather-wise wasn't even like rotation or a tornado or anything like that. It was a thunderstorm in the middle of a blizzard. Yeah, like so, just standing on my front porch, probably. I don't even know how old I was. I don't even know if I was a teenager yet. And like snow just coming down, big old flakes, just and then like just lightning arcing across the sky and everything. I was like, this is not how this is supposed to work.
What frosty hell is this?
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, that's kind of what I was like. This is like after I got a little bit older and I read Dante, I was like, this is the ninth. That was the ninth circle of hell. That's what that shit looks like.
Oh. I always wanted to get into that one. Dante's Inferno.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It okay. I mean, I enjoyed it. I've heard cynics just call it like religious self-insert fanfic, but I enjoyed it.
Fair enough. It's classic for a reason.
Yeah.
There's Dante. Oh, we were going to talk about gaming.
Were we?
That's where we started.
Yeah. You know what? We're not good at this, guys.
No.
Yeah, gaming.
But you guys will never know that we said any of that. Potentially.
That's right.
We could put it in.
We also could not.
Maybe it's some hidden content we put behind a paywall.
Ooh, a
Whoa.
paywall.
Yeah. I'll talk to you how I want to talk to
I mean, I
you.
feel violated.
Whoa. My bad.
uh,
Dante.
but yeah, Dante. There was, speaking of gaming and Dante, there was a God of War knockoff based on Dante's Inferno.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Um. So it was like, honestly, if it was any more God of War like, they probably would have got a cease and desist.
Oh,
Like we're talking a lot of the, like, it felt like a lot of the combos
like a
even kind of looked similar.
like a reskin almost.
Yeah, almost like a reskin.
Okay.
The first 3 or so levels were actually pretty imaginative. Because like you could see things happening in like the background of the levels and whatnot. And the story wasn't super compelling. You were down there to rescue your girl. I mean
Ah,
that's
grown
but
up Mario.
yeah. But each level was a circle of hell. And so first few levels you had unique enemies that were, representative of that circle.
Mm.
And it was pretty cool. But then after you got on a little bit farther, they started reusing enemies and like things weren't unique anymore. And so,
Mm.
you saw villains or minions from previous circles come back. And,
Somebody got tired.
yeah, I mean, which I don't even remember what studio made the game, but
It was called Dante's Inferno.
it may have just been called Inferno.
Oh yeah, okay, I kind of remember that cover.
Um, but yeah, I don't remember what studio. I don't know that they had a lot of money necessarily to throw at development
Right.
for an extended period of time. I mean, I'll give them that it sucks to come up with that many,
Right.
assets for all all
Man
the,
hours
yeah.
and
But it was fun for what it was, which was beat 'em up, hack and slash.
sometimes you need those.
Yeah, you do,
Yeah.
and it scratched that itch.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really weird that man, that's our form of I guess it's really similar to reading a book, I think,
Mm-hmm.
in a lot of cases because if a game's really good, I'll stick with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not much of a video gamer, but if it's really good, I'll stick with it and play it for a while. But most of them I won't even flip the cover of, you know?
Right. Uh, you know, so I'm a story whore.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Oh, same.
I will suffer through bad gameplay.
Oh, I
Uh,
won't.
oh, I will. Gameplay means nothing to me. You can have the best gameplay on the planet, and if your story sucks, Pokemon.
You're right. Oh,
Chances are I'm not cracking that cover.
yeah.
For very long anyway.
Mm.
Like, uh, you know, so I'm a big Final Fantasy fan. I've not played the MMOs. There's two, those 11 and 14. But I played most of the others. Big into Final Fantasy. Uh, I'd like to say that I have standards aside from story, but it's really not true.
Yeah.
Honestly, if they would make movies or just write books based on my favorite franchises, I'd probably never play another one.
Wow, okay. I remember I was never much into Final Fantasy. That one didn't stick. I do remember loving the artwork from it.
Do you remember which one?
It was an early one, like 4.
Okay, yeah.
Uh, this guy on the bus that I rode the bus with he had his game and he was looking at the pamphlet.
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation 1, I think.
Oh yeah,
And then
spicy.
just the artwork inside the pamphlet made it look really good, but the turn-based gameplay really turned me off, which is crazy because I still buy Pokemon games.
Right. I mean, I love turn-based.
Yeah.
Typically,
Mm-hmm.
I will say not all Final Fantasy games are turn-based.
Yeah.
There's 12 had this sort of weird real time yet pausable menu thing that you could do, and 7, like the 7 remake, was more of an action RPG.
Hmm.
Was not turn-based like the original.
Really.
Yeah. um the 13, which is in some circles very hated, but 13 was not turn based either.
Why did we hate 13?
It was very so. Final Fantasy is generally known for having tons of side quests, being very open, just being a ton of crap to do and find.
Okay.
Final Fantasy 13 was very linear until near the end of the game. Like they called it, a lot of people called it Final Hallway 13. You pretty much didn't branch until you neared the end of the game. You had one path, you went along the path, and you did things. And the story progressed. I didn't have a problem with it. You know, like I said, I'm a story whore. I don't give a crap about your side quests.
No, fair enough.
But you
That's
know,
very efficient gaming, though.
yeah,
I think. I mean, because that's what you get into it for. I don't know. As a kid, yeah, I just shoot things and mash buttons.
hmm
But for me to really stick with a game anymore, it's got to have a good story behind it.
yeah,
Borderlands, for some reason, that one hooked me.
man. Okay, so I love Borderlands.
Mhm.
I really enjoyed it. I honestly can't tell you what about it really hooked me, aside just the ridiculous weaponry. I think maybe actually the cell shading was
Right.
very attractive.
No, I was gonna say the coloring because I'm 8.
Yeah.
And you really just want to see some good coloring,
hmm
I guess, because I can't play Modern Warfare or anything like that. Like I played Borderlands.
Yeah. Maybe.
But I still buy Pokemon.
You know, like I mean, I'm probably gonna skip Violet and whatever the other color is this time.
I wish I was.
But I'll probably pick up the one after whatever that the one after that maybe. I don't know.
I'm sitting here thinking about it right now. Like I have a weird attachment to the $10 that I've put down on this game,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, if I don't pay the rest of it, then I lose that $10. But I
Right.
don't even really want to play it.
So you lose $10, but you save an additional 50,
Right.
and like I don't know, 30, 40, 100 hours of time.
Yeah, dear God, because the amount that I actually would need to set aside to really get into it
Mm-hmm.
just seems existential.
I guess the real question is there something else you'd rather use that time for?
Yeah, the value. That's a good point. The value of that time, because if you're playing a video game, that's kind of what you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
and I can appreciate that. The immediate like doop, good feeling button.
Right.
But ultimately, your goal is to complete it, I would think, or
Yeah.
complete it to the extent that you've decided it's complete. Like you're not getting anything else from it.
Right. So, and that kind of touches on an interesting point. So, there's this, I'll call it a phenomenon. I think we've talked about it before in modern gaming, where people don't finish video games. They'll get halfway through, or maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, but they'll get part of the way through the game, and then the next eye-grabbing title comes along, and they shelve that to play the new thing. Marketing.
Strong marketing.
Yep. People just don't finish games. And when
What do you think brings that about?
Undiagnosed ADHD.
Oof.
No. I think a lot of it is marketing. The feeling that you're going to miss out on the next big great thing. Also, a lot of games have friggin' season passes, quote unquote. All this content and special events and things that happen during a certain period of time. And people are like, oh, I want to get in on that. That looks cool. And so they set down the previous thing so they can get in on the new thing. And and it's also kind of like how the new wore off a new toy when you were a kid. They've, by the time you put 40 hours into Bloodborne or whatever, you're probably not done with Bloodborne. But snap, Elden Ring, time to get the new hotness.
Dude, that's crazy. Elden Ring seems like a lot of time.
It does.
With all the side quests and whatnot.
I'll be 100% honest. I have not played Elden Ring.
Yeah.
I would
They're
part of me,
shilling it though.
oh yeah,
They're still. I'm seeing it everywhere.
I would, part of me would like to play Elden Ring, and then part of me knows that Elden Ring is too much work.
Right.
Like I have played Dark Souls games,
Mm-hmm.
um, and you mean you guys can fault me all you want for saying this, but Dark Souls has a good story
Mm-hmm.
if you're willing to dig for it,
No.
because you have to dig.
Yeah.
And I have no problem with Dark Souls being as hard as it is, even
Mm-hmm.
going all the way back to Demon Souls. Like, if your story was great, I'd get my ass kicked on multiple occasions. But your story, while good, is not presented in.
Does it feel dry by the time you get all of it?
It's very disjointed,
Mm.
because like you get a tidbit here and then you go over there and you get a tidbit. Like if you're doing nothing but progressing through the game, like
Right.
you're not even going to get a fraction of the story, it feels like.
Really.
Like there's a lot of extra stuff to find, a lot of things to pay attention to. And I'm always again like I'm here for the storytelling. I'm not here for the story finding.
Mm.
And even though I enjoy, you know, cool tidbits that are hidden, here and there,
Sure.
I like my big flashy cutscenes.
Fair enough.
That's just how I
Yeah.
game.
I like. I do like the cutscenes, but I find that they either don't do enough for me
Mm-hmm.
to explain what's really going on, or they're completely opposite and they take 20 minutes.
Right.
Um, Kingdom Hearts. Uh,
Oh.
no,
Yeah, you're right though.
they're great to look at, but like sometimes I gotta hop. Like if I catch the cutscene right when I gotta go pee,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Yeah.
I've come close to peeing my pants.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wish. Part of me does kind of wish there was a length warning before some of these cutscenes.
right.
Uh.
Oh, that would be a nice little tidbit. That would be cute.
Yeah.
Just a really basic, easy, platformer with some good cutscenes. But there's like, hey, there's a guy in the office, and he's like, dude, have you ever, like, we're talking right now?
Mm-hmm.
They're like, no, we should do that, and then put the timer in there. Like, hey, 17-minute cutscene coming up. You might want to go tinkle,
Yep. And cutscenes need to be pausable.
right? Because if you hit a button, then it just skips the cutscene.
Yeah.
And what did I just lose?
Right. And if you have a skip cutscene button, there needs to be a confirmation that you have to maneuver to.
Mm-hmm.
Like the default should be, do you want to skip this cutscene? No.
Mm-hmm.
Like that way, if I push X one too many times because your crap was slow to begin with or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I don't accidentally skip my game, my scene. Like not a game dev, but I will throw hella shade at all at all the game devs out there.
That's an interesting leads me to an interesting point. I just ate my tongue for some reason.
I imagine it was delicious.
Bit dry.
Uh,
However, what do you think those games do for your mind? The storytellers. I mean, obviously, you're here to hear a good story. You want to be
right.
entertained, but like,
So I would like to say that it's not much different than watching a movie, but it is, because you are interacting.
mm,
So you're getting stimulation, you're engaging with the ideas and the words that are being put out. Uh, but you're also kind of there, problem solving or whatever along the way. And so I've always argued that that video games in general were a wonderful brain exercise,
mm,
by and large. Now I'm not gonna say that's universal,
yeah, mindless driving over people and stuff.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but there's I think that by and large, I think it's a good mental exercise.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that. I got into a little bit of Overwatch. That's probably the most like I think that's what I get out of gaming is
Mm-hmm.
the socialization. I mean,
Okay.
it's strictly, I mean, for Overwatch in the realm of the game for the most
Right.
part, because like even if you play by yourself and just play quick plays a lot, you'll still run into people who you happen to do well with.
Oh yeah.
Like because I played without a headset
Mm-hmm.
99% of the time I played. Um, so I just so happened to be in there and mic'd up or whatever, and somebody friended me, and I was like, I don't know how to operate this. I barely know how to play this game.
Right.
It's weird how archaic I am sometimes,
Social
right?
controls. What?
Then I'll hop into Xbox Live sometimes, and I've got 19 messages. I mean, 17 of them are bots, but a couple of them were sent to me like 2 years ago. So if you're one of those people, I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think that's why I like the physical gaming more
Mm-hmm.
because I'm a very busy fella.
Yeah.
I don't got a lot of time, but I can think about a deck I'm building or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and I can just think about that even while I'm at work or if I'm at you know just need to busy
Where
my
where
mind with
where
something.
where do we go that's not work, David?
Yeah, that's a terrifying thought.
Yeah. I mean,
Walmart.
yeah.
Oof.
Walmart.
Whoa.
Gross. Hmm?
Can we pause?
Oh yeah.
I just need to get a drink. Need a fuzzy snuggle.
Yeah. Sometimes you do just need a fuzzy snuggle.
Yep. So, but with the gaming, they get you with the cards though.
Mm-hmm.
Get me with the cards. I don't know why. It's like having a little piece of art that I
Yeah.
just hold on to, even if the art sucks.
Well, you know, here I go again with the appeal over functionality.
Mm-hmm.
Because I will pick an archetype based solely on how much I like looking at it,
Mm-hmm.
and I play that, and it almost okay, almost.
That's a different anime.
Woo. Yep. It almost always invariably sucks.
Yeah.
The only time I have picked a winner was, well, I've done it twice. Once I was like, prophecy is gonna be good. The prophecy card I liked was shit.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what it was called. It was the Balrog looking one.
Prophecy Destroyer.
Yeah, nobody ran that, but it
No.
was the one that was like, I'm gonna play prophecy and that was good.
Yeah.
And then Flunderies.
Yep.
I was like, Flunderies is cool looking, and then I bought it. I was like, this is actually good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, most of the ones I've bought into are not the best.
yeah.
I've done it one time,
Mm-hmm.
and the deck wasn't even arguably the best at the time. It was one of
Mm-hmm.
like four.
I mean, Cosmo was pretty up there still whenever I bought it from you.
That is true. Yeah, I forgot about that. That deck thrives in a slow format.
Yeah. It I don't I like Cosmo.
Mm-hmm.
Partially just because it's such an easy anti-meta typically.
Truly, yeah.
Like,
but it feels like combo-y.
Yeah, it feels combo.
Yeah,
but it's got the combo without the wombo.
Yeah, no, it's it's got combo, but it doesn't have combo plus.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. You don't.
And you can't just. It's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not the same. When I was playing it, it was good. It was fun. But
it was enjoyable. You want to know the tragedy though?
What is it?
So I picked Flunderies. It was good. I never have taken it to a tournament.
Mm-hmm. No, I feel that. I feel that. I've just thought about my cards more than I've ever even touched them lately.
But yeah, no, that's fair. Same. I bought Flunderies and then won locals with Monarchs.
Gross. What a terrible place. Maybe I'm just jaded from Cosmo Monarch format,
You
but
know,
the nostalgia.
nostalgia powers activate.
That's what keeps you coming back. So
Yeah.
I think. Well, see, it's different. I think it's different for me because didn't you say you had no idea about the show or the game or anything until you were
So I didn't watch the original anime.
okay?
I did not get into things until the I bought my first cards during the GX era.
Okay.
That was I did watch about half of GX.
Hmm.
Um, I got into it then, bought my first cards, didn't like played casually at home with like my mom and sister.
Cool.
And then didn't do a lot until I hit college in
All right.
2000, really 2010.
I think that's when we linked up again, somewhere around
Yeah,
there.
I got into it in 2010, and we started doing events at at the local game store at the time,
Oh, right,
and
right, right.
then you started coming
Yeah,
and stuff a little bit.
yeah. You did this to me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. Thanks. Well, I mean, but the the thing about it is though, like the ultimate goal, I call it a hobby. The ultimate goal of my hobby is to like build it and then take it
Right,
and see what it can do. And that's truly the part that like scares me a little bit, but it also like I'm doing something I enjoy
right.
to do it, so I socialize a little more.
So I think that brings up a really good point
Hmm.
about gaming, because you had mentioned Overwatch earlier,
Hmm.
and the social aspect of TCGs. I it's a lot easier to, at least for me, to rationalize and justify spending time playing a game
Right,
if I'm also socializing, because I'm
right,
like, I'm hanging out with people. It's important. It's a good use of time.
right.
Also getting to play a game.
Hmm.
It's one of the reasons that I like Dungeons and Dragons so much.
Right.
Um,
Because then you can have people that just you like
yeah, you have
join
people.
you.
Yeah, you have people that you just like.
Hmm.
You don't have the rando trolls.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mm.
which I mean, having the 5 man, or I guess in Overwatch is it a 6 man?
It used to be 6 man. It's down to five.
Okay, like having a 5 man of like your friends that you like who are also good at the game.
Right.
That's the dream.
Right.
But
Yeah.
it's happened like twice.
No, I was gonna say I don't think I've ever been on with like five. There may be two,
I got you.
and those are good times. Like
Right.
especially on Overwatch, or it was for me that like just these random strangers I met through the game.
Hmm.
And like anytime I'm on or they're on, we can hop on together, and it's just a good chat without leaving the sanctity of your couch.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I play the social games
Hmm.
because otherwise sometimes I don't feel like I communicate as well,
Right.
just in general, day to day life.
Mm.
But like with a game, it fosters that ability or
Yeah.
that trait, I think.
And I think that's so. I used to play League of Legends
Hmm.
quite a bit. Uh, and it was the same thing, just like with Overwatch. Like I get on there, BS with people, most of whom I had met over, the game,
Right.
and get on there and just BS about really nothing in particular, and almost autopilot my way through games.
All
Like
right.
I played ranked, but it was, let's face it, MOBA's the game. It's the same game,
Mm.
especially League of Legends, because the map's always the same.
Oh.
Like it's just the same game repeatedly, and so
Oh,
you don't
okay.
have to think too hard about it after a certain point of time. A
Like you
certain
could
certain
almost
point.
like you could play that while you brushed your dog, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like
So actually, I did play half a game with my feet one time.
no way.
Yeah,
That's impressive.
I had a wireless mouse, and I just put it in the floor.
Okay.
I mean, I had my left hand on the keyboard, But I was like sorting Yu-Gi-Oh cards with my
Whoa.
right hand. Because I don't remember exactly why, but like I was supposed to have like a
You
deck built like
you
by
had
the next
a
day.
lot of things to do. You had
Yeah.
it all at once. Wow.
um
There is no way in my life I could ever. I couldn't be fat. Like, there's no way.
I'm trying to I do not I'm sure I
You're
don't
pretty.
remember if we won that game or not.
Right, but still, the fact that you were doing it, you're pretty ambidextrous.
Yeah, I
Your
mean,
brain worked better than mine.
well, I mean, the right hand motion was just it's just a Tinder motion, just swipe left.
Oh no. Okay.
So I was just like, I
Oh,
just
with the
had like
cards.
stacks of cards, and I was just like, not the card, not the card, not the card, not the card. That's a card, not the card, not the, you know.
Wow.
And I,
Man,
um,
I feel like I just
so
met an alien, a
it
heroic
was
alien.
it was an interesting game, and I a couple of times I thought about trying it again just to see what the outcome would be.
Right. If you could focus and use your foot,
Yeah.
like really watch.
Well, and that's one of those things like when you're playing games like Overwatch or League, you get into the groove, you get comfortable with what you're doing,
You do find some muscle memory.
and you autopilot,
Mhm.
and in a way that's part of what appealed to me about the game at the time. But when you shake things up and you have to think,
Mhm.
you're a better player like most of the time.
Right.
And so I was like, I really want to try and see how well I can, like, if I can do truly well playing in just weird ways.
Mhm.
But I that was something that I never did. I never went back and tried playing with my footsie again.
Man, I thought you were talking about trying a different character or something
Oh
like
no,
that.
no. I played support exclusively
Oh, okay.
well, almost exclusively in ranked exclusively
Okay.
in Overwatch or in League.
Mhm.
And Overwatch is pretty much same. I played off tank, or I mean off support.
Okay, yeah.
So I'll be honest, I was a Moira main.
Oh,
I was
so DPS.
yeah, I
Then
was
you can heal yourself.
yeah. Problem was
Everybody else can get fucked.
yeah, I mean, basically, because most of the time, whenever I was playing Moira, I had pretty much all the gold medals. I was
Wow.
like sometimes, and I didn't get too tilted about it unless we were in ranked,
Mhm.
and like sometimes I would get frustrated, get in chat, and be like, the support should not have gold medals in damage.
No way.
So
Did everybody else just play tank?
no, so at that time they actually had it so that you had to pick a role.
Oh, I
So
gotcha.
that forced people to diversify,
Right. And the healer still did the most damage.
and the healer still did the most damage. It was like because we had like we would have like a soldier,
Mm.
and we would have like a Pharah, and I'm just like,
Right.
guys, Pharahs were the worst though, because they'd just be like, it didn't matter what you said, they were just like, switch to Mercy, and I was like, no.
Oh, I hated Mercy. I could not play Mercy to save my life. I died more times as Mercy than I died with Tracer.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
Because if you're the Mercy, then you're the target.
yeah, you're the target. You're the squish.
And you're flashy.
Oh yeah.
So we always know where you're at.
Mm-hmm. Right, just behind the Pharah.
I love playing Pharaoh though, especially if somebody graciously hopped onto a Mercy.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Yeah, a good Mercy is terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
I was not a good Mercy.
Mm-hmm.
I was a 50-50 shot on Mercy.
Mm-hmm.
It basically depended on if the other team was good at killing Mercies.
I was 20-80.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was a terrible Mercy.
I was good as Moira. I was pretty okay as Brigitte. Who's like the support, support tank.
Mm-hmm.
And I was occasionally good at Zenyatta.
No, never.
He was the only character I could get headshots with.
Really?
Yeah.
Toby was really good with him. I could never touch him. with Zenyatta.
Yeah, I enjoyed Zenyatta. I wasn't the best Zenyatta. Even if I was getting headshots, I wasn't quote unquote the best Zenyatta.
Sure.
But Moira,
Mm.
so good.
You know why? You know why I like the social, the sitting down.
Mm.
You know how they pull me in?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a prize at the end.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Sometimes you just like that's all the motivation you need to solve little puzzles.
Yeah.
I've heard them described as like arguments or debates when you're playing a duel
Mm-hmm.
or a match or whatever. So like, yeah, it's money. You can have
Oh,
some. Um,
spicy.
whoa. So, but yeah, like a debate, which kind of makes you wonder, like, do I just like to argue, but not with words?
I think that's called boxing.
Hmm, debatable. I can see that. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I think that it does because each one, if you compare it to an argument, each one
Mm-hmm.
is a okay. My deck presents a problem for you,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have to figure out how to solve the problem that I presented you with, and then
Right.
you fixing that, you doing your part presents me with another.
Yeah, ideally it is a very back and forth
Mm-hmm.
conflict arrangement.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Oh, because man, conflict.
well, I mean the argument is the conflict.
Sure.
Like, that's like like in the realm of storytelling, like conflict is what drives the scenario. It's what drives the whole thing.
Fair.
The the characters and places and things are like the options on your vehicle, but conflict is the motor that makes it go.
Oh, of course.
So in Yu-Gi-Oh, the conflict is the problems that the decks present to each other,
Mm-hmm.
and so you do have this. Ideally, if it's not an OTK, you have this back and forth sort of almost a dance,
Yeah.
an argument dance.
Argument dance.
Uh, eh,
That's got to be a sub form of dance somewhere.
are you? Have you ever watched Bob's Burgers?
Yes, absolutely. I love
So
Bob's Burgers.
I I enjoy the capoeira episodes. Bob and his sexy dance fighting.
Oh no, I've not seen that.
You've not seen capoeira.
I've not seen Capoeira.
Oh man, you need to watch the capoeira
Oh, I can't
episodes.
wait. My daughter loves it. My daughter will just stop what she's doing and sit down and watch some Bob's Burgers with me.
It's not cool, Lynn. It's just sexy dance fighting.
It just feels right.
Yes, yes. But a little bit of something for you to look forward to,
Oh
though.
man. Yeah, no, that's gonna be fantastic.
Yes.
Shiny cardboard.
Shiny cardboard.
Oh, I've been playing. I didn't want to tell you. I got into a certain other card games mobile game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What?
You play MTG Arena?
No, I have not. I have not yet played MTG Arena.
Man, it will suck your phone battery dry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's a good looking game.
Mm-hmm.
So you played Hearthstone or MTG Online or okay.
Yeah, I played. I
So
played. Yeah.
for that type of game, it's a really good looking game. It does all
Mm-hmm.
the flashes and lights and stuff
Right.
that you want in a good mobile game. Um, and it's driven by a constructed company,
Yeah.
gaming company. Like, so you get exactly what you're looking for out of it. This isn't even a sponsored spot. Like, I don't know. I've been using this to scratch my
But it
itch.
could be.
Right. You're welcome. We'll send 2 people your way. At least they'll look at the app. But
This one's free.
yeah,
The next one you got to pay for.
but yeah, I think that's what it is. That itch for socialization
Mm-hmm.
broken down to its most base level.
Right.
I think. So I've been playing a little bit of that in downtime, like
Okay.
before I go to bed, on lunch break at work, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I can't fault you for MTG Arena.
Yeah.
I mean, I play I think about Magic a lot
Hmm.
at work.
Really?
Yeah, like and Yu-Gi-Oh, but
Hmm.
you know, I think about card games a lot at work actually.
Yeah.
I'll just be sitting there minding my own business, typing, or arguing with somebody
Hmm.
because that's like 60% of my job. It feels like, uh,
Excellent.
but like I'm just sitting there minding my own business, and suddenly I'll be like, oh, but
I could
what
try
if
that.
this?
Yes.
What
Yes.
if
More shiny cardboard.
so
You need it.
Substitute's back.
Yeah.
So I've like sometimes I'll just for some reason I'll have an association with a frog, and then all of a sudden it's like, how else could we break Substitute? How else can I get this banned again quick?
Hmm. I think it's I don't know, stickers. I mean, they started with stickers.
S- Stickers.
I mean, when we were kids,
Oh
they were
yeah.
like shiny
Yep.
stickers, and
And
you're like,
like
oh,
the
I want
kind
it.
of like the do you have any that were kind of squishy?
Those
They
are
were like,
rare.
yeah.
Those are some rare ones.
So yeah, I mean they were rare for me too, but I put them on one of the so we our house had a room that we had set aside as quote unquote the classroom, which is where we like
Sure.
ostensibly did our lessons.
Hmm.
We didn't do lessons in there, but
Fair.
anyway, um, it was quote unquote the classroom, and it had a door, an interior door,
Okay.
and I had put several stickers on that door,
Hmm.
uh, and some of them were the kind of fluffy, squishy ones,
Nice.
and they were very shiny.
Hmm.
Before I wore the shine off poking them.
I mean, that's what they're there for.
Yeah, I
That's why
mean,
they made those
I
stickers.
guess so. I don't know why else I would have put them there.
Yeah, fair enough.
They might still be there.
You know what's not still there?
Hmm.
My Pokemon cards from when I was a kid.
Oh,
I know.
sad every time,
I know. I won't. I can't let it die.
man.
Hmm.
I understand. I
Yeah.
feel that
Where gaming as a whole, though, is just a very expensive hobby.
it can be. I mean, it doesn't really matter where you decide to step in. It feels like in the gaming
Right.
sphere, because you know Dungeons and Dragons is marketed as, oh, if you've got a pen and some paper and a single set of math rocks,
Right.
you can play the most imaginative game ever,
Right.
which is technically true. They don't tell you about the 150 rule books that are
Right.
available for purchase. They don't tell you about all the
The
cool accessories like DM screens and dice towers,
uh,
and nobody talks about the crippling dice addiction.
the Okay. See, that's why I haven't dipped in to D&D maybe because like I can only throw money at one, and really I, shouldn't. Like
Right.
I could be using this to solve world hunger, but I'm important too.
Yeah, that's right. You know, and I exaggerated a little bit. You can on it like they actually made the basic rules free when they released fifth edition.
Mm,
So you could actually take the basic rules and you could with a pen and paper and a single set of dice
math rocks.
math rocks you could play the game.
Mm,
But once you get into it, you want to spend money on it.
yeah, yeah, that makes
Uh,
sense.
but in all fairness, there is for the most basic part of the game, there is the entry point is cheap.
Mm,
Now, not everything can say that,
no.
but there's I'm not familiar with a single type of gaming that isn't honestly kind of expensive.
Yeah. I mean, because if you can be that, if you can take that basic set of rules, say with D&D,
Hmm.
and just play that and be satisfied with that, then I think you get the most value from that game.
Hmm.
Um, but I'd say that video games are the next least expensive.
Can be.
Yeah. I mean, if you're just a couch gamer, I guess.
If you're a console gamer
Hmm.
and you are uh if you're a console gamer and you don't just have to have all the AAA titles,
Mm,
probably.
okay.
Now if you're a PC gamer,
Mm,
your $3,000 gaming PC says you broke.
yeah.
uh, but we're talking like back to our shiny cardboard.
Hmm.
One copy, one copy of whatever hot new pot card they just released.
Yeah.
It's not marijuana.
It's not.
Uh, Typically is going to run you $120 for one copy.
Yeah.
It
That's twice as. That's like two Xbox games.
Yeah, that's two Xbox games,
Right.
or
In one
like
copy.
yeah,
And
and you need three.
you need three.
You need three, and that's
Yep.
that's just those cards.
Right.
That's not the hot new fusion monster or whatever type of extra deck
It's just such a
is.
superfluous hobby, isn't it?
Yeah,
Wow. I mean, it is. However, I mean, you can also play it on the cheap.
you can also play it on the cheap, and part of me feels like that's where the real joy of the game is.
Yeah.
Is just take your jank
Yeah.
and try to make your jank good without, because you can take the $120 pot of whatever and throw it into some jank, and it makes the jank better.
Yeah, it immediately does.
But what's the point of playing jank if you're just going to toss in all the expensive staples?
Right.
So
That's how they hook you in.
yeah. So
Look at the shiny, sparkly pieces that you're gonna put around it.
Yeah.
You're gonna make it your own little jewel, your own little ring.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Just be a man about it and play your jank with Mystic Mind.
Oh, God, that card. It's weird that I know so much about that card, but I've never played against it.
Me neither.
Mhm.
I've never had the occasion to have to play against it.
I'm not upset by that,
Me neither.
but
I mean, it's what, like $2, if that.
eh,
Oh, did it go up?
actually, yeah.
Oh,
Well, it did for a little bit after the ban list. After the
oh,
ban list, they went back because everybody thought they were gonna get banned, or at least
oh, yeah,
so they thought.
yeah. I was a little bit surprised that it didn't. It's not that it's an unfair card. It's just that it's disruptive to the format. It feels like they're trying to build.
Right.
Which is the Wombo combo Lords of Death,
Mm-hmm.
just consistently.
Right.
And
it both facilitates that and keeps it off the board is the wacky part.
Yeah.
Because it's happening to you too.
Right.
It's happening to both players. He's got the power to turn it off, but it's kind of like you have the power to use it to your advantage as well.
Yeah. I wish instead of just endless combos, I wish they would they'd print a top tier control deck. Like something that doesn't combo stupid hard, but that it's just there to control. Like
it just sticks one creature or monster.
Or shoot, it's maybe just nothing but traps. Or like
you mean Eldritch.
No, maybe. Yeah. Okay,
I've been
fine.
thinking about putting that deck together for a long time.
And that's another thing though.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like, especially it feels like some games and sometimes entire genres across multiple like TCGs and video games and things, like they just beat a dead horse.
Yeah.
Like at this point, realistically, what new mechanic is Yu-Gi-Oh even printing?
Nothing.
Not a damn thing.
Nothing right now.
Very occasionally Magic comes up with a new thing, but sometimes it feels like it's just a reskinned other thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's called something different, so it doesn't have rules, interactions, and things, and stays not archetype specific, but it kind of keeps things segmented. But there's, at this point, it sort of feels like for a little while I kind of got into MMOs. And then it just kind of felt like every MMO became the same.
Yes.
And I was like, this is just the same game.
Mm-hmm.
It's like every new MMO is just the same set of quests that you don't read or care about.
Right.
and you're just there to fight the big monsters.
Mm-hmm.
And survival games gotten a little bit repetitive.
Right.
Call of Duty's been the same game
For 20 years.
for 20 years. Yeah. Yeah.
The graphics just got better.
Yeah, better pretty much. So, I wish, which I know these companies got to make money.
Mm-hmm.
But just like we don't need realistically a new iPhone every bloody year, we don't need the same game over and over every year,
Mm-hmm.
just with a different skin.
I think that's why Yu-Gi-Oh keeps me in though, because it does seem like I can't recall, like, if I pick out a specific deck,
Mm-hmm.
I can't recall a time when I saw that before. For the most part, at least that's the kind of strategies I like to play.
Mm-hmm.
So those different types of strategies, I guess that's why I stick with it as much as I do and pay as much attention as I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just fixes it. It feels like it always makes you think differently.
Mm-hmm.
At least whenever you update and do a new thing with your cards and stuff. Like, they're doing a lot of retrains in the new set. So they're taking like old artwork or old monsters and stuff and then changing them into traps or giving them related effects and stuff like that.
That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I have a lot of interests, and I wish some of them weren't so bloody expensive.
Yeah. They pay for themselves.
Yeah, or at least held value.
Yes.
And that's one thing. Getting into Warhammer is horrendously expensive.
Mm-hmm.
But most of those stupid little plastic dudes hold value.
Do they really?
Yeah. Like, you can typically get 75% of what, like, if it's brand new in the box, like, you can get up to 100% of retail reasonably often.
Okay.
If you've opened it, you put it together, still, as long as it's not painted, 75% or so of retail. And it holds it across editions. Very rarely does the game like axe a miniature. Like if you have a I don't know, if you have Magnus the Red in 10th edition, when 11th edition rolls around, Magnus is still going to be playable.
Oh, okay.
Just like he was in 3rd edition, and so on and so forth. So I'm actually not sure he had a mini in 3rd edition, but anyway, I don't remember what edition he came out in. But the point is they're always playable, and they hold value for literal decades. So if you do decide you want to offload something, value, like cash value, stays pretty good, but also you can just trade right across the board with people. Like, your friggin' 5-year-old stuff's just as good as the stuff that was minted yesterday, for most people, and that is attractive.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh don't play that way.
No, your cardboard from 5 months ago is no longer worth anything.
You do got to be quick.
Yeah,
you do got to be quick. You can't grow an attachment to the stuff.
No,
that's my problem.
Yeah, and another thing that I think, and this is something that I do to myself, is that I point at myself like people can see me, who aren't on YouTube.
Right. You did that.
I did it. Is that, like, I don't stay in the game enough. Like, I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to invest. I'm going to drop $50 on X card. It's going to be great. I'm going to get a lot of use out of it. And then and I'll just step out of the game and I won't play.
Right.
At least not competitively for months. And then like I'll go to an event and I'm like, why is my $50 card no longer relevant?
Yeah.
Because I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't evolving with the game,
Hmm.
so on and so forth. Like, and I know this.
It's a
That
bit
does,
maddening too.
yeah.
At the same time,
Hmm.
it's fun and it's interesting, and I feel like it fosters problem solving. But at the same time, that if you don't have the time, like if you have a life that is not formatted around that,
Hmm.
then you just.
Right.
But I mean, there are also cards that it just depends on how the game shifts itself.
Oh
It's
yeah,
such a fluctuating thing.
absolutely. And like
Maybe that's what keeps it interesting.
maybe,
I fucked him out today.
I but I'll be honest. I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh as a whole needs to reevaluate. Like not the community, Konami. I feel like Konami needs to reevaluate how it structures the game state
Yeah.
because I honestly I feel like the ban list format that they have is problem causing in many ways as opposed to problem solving.
Right.
And I know it basically all the ban list is a way to push product.
Oh, of course. Absolutely.
It's nothing but pushing product.
Right.
Every other like the other two major like the other two top three card games in the world
Right.
have set rotations, and
Right.
it works much better.
Yeah.
You don't wake up one day to your $1,000 stack of cardboard being $200
Right.
because Banlist came out and axed two or three cards.
Right.
I have quit the game like 3 times because I built a deck and then within a month the ban list nixed it. Like and okay, so the time that I built Zodiac, that was my fault.
Yeah.
Should have known.
Yeah.
That was my fault. The other 2 times was not. Like I could not have predicted that coming.
Okay.
But uh uh anyway.
That's the danger of like waiting for the whole season to come out.
Yeah. Yep.
Or yeah.
Uh
Because like there's certain decks that are just that good out of the gate,
mhm.
and then but they've already committed to a story, be it a short one, so they've got to at least give them something,
Right.
like another set down the line, something, even if it's trivial.
Mhm.
But oof, yeah, I got I got burned one time real hard.
Oh yeah.
Yep, I was playing Shadal. I really
Mhm.
loved Shadal. The artwork. I had a max rarity
Oh.
mint, but
Spice.
yeah. So I made a trade deal with this guy because I had taken it to a regional. I loved the cards; they were gorgeous, fun to play with. The play style, everything. I just couldn't brain no work. Like I saw people with the same list as mine doing, crazy stuff, and I couldn't make mine do that.
mm.
So I was just like, maybe I just need to try something new. I've got this. It's got some value
Mhm.
because it was still expensive, and I was like, I can trade it away, make
Right.
it into something different, and maybe I'm better with that. But I wouldn't. In that case, I wasn't going to be losing value, and I
Right.
got robbed. I got
Oh. Oh no.
yeah. I traded it. I sent it away to trade, and the guy
Mm.
never sent it back.
Oh.
But the bright side to this, the silver lining, was that there was this. So back then, there were a lot of celebrities.
Mhm.
It's so goofy. I thought about that on the way over. Sidebar from the sidebar. Like right now, one of the coolest things that I could do outside of, you know, humaning
Mhm.
and being a good person and being a good parent, like my end goal of my hobby, this crazy one that I'm talking about right now, is to win a YCS.
Oh yeah.
Like that would be the mountaintop. Like all of this time that I've paid attention to this stupid game,
Right.
and finally it pays off.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I think about that. I think about that, and then I think about times like my deck got stolen, and I got to interact with one of the bigger celebrities in the community,
Oh
and it's so goofy how that presses my good feel button.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, that guy was friends with everybody in the community, or not everybody, but with a lot of people in the community.
Mhm.
They had a store where people got along pretty well.
Mhm.
Um, very successful store. And then uh, I'm telling a story. I'm telling a story about a time I got robbed and how it turned out cool. Um,
Make it happen, Captain.
the so the guy who gypped me, I mean, I didn't. I sent it away.
Right.
But he did scam me.
Yep.
So
It
anyway,
happens a lot with those trades like that. Those
yeah,
mail trades.
yeah. That's why I think that's probably why people don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
But no, I sent it away, and the guy happened to be pretty close to this game store in
Mhm.
Georgia, and I called him up, and I didn't know what to do. I was just upset that I lost my stuff.
Right.
Um, and I just told him, I was like, man, I know this is crazy and this is far fetched, but I've got this name. It's probably a fake name of this guy who I just traded my cards to, and if he comes through and tries to sell them, uh, this is what they look like. This is the box they were in. Um,
Right.
and I mean, nothing ever happened from it, but the dude, his name was Corey McDuffie, was really cool, and was like, man, I'm really sorry for you. I promise you, if anything comes through, back then there was a joke. It was a hi Corey, like
Mm.
SpongeBob.
Mhm.
Hi Squidward. So it was hi Corey, and that was cool. I got to have that interaction. But yeah, isn't it so weird how those they wrap around your brain?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Association's weird.
Mm-hmm.
It really is.
Anyway, man, we've been cruising for a minute.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Minute
any
and
of this
minute
is.
and some change.
I don't know how much of what I said was usable.
Uh,
Maybe it
we'll
can just
probably
be.
keep most of it in.
Maybe it can just be you talking.
Hmm.
Like
I don't know about
you're
that.
obviously having a conversation, but they can't hear the other
That would be
person.
hilarious to do one time.
Could be this one.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, anyway, I came over here feeling real passionate and hot and wanting to talk about the gaming,
Hell yeah.
actually gaming, and I realized I just made it weird. But I'm feeling a lot better now.
Good.
Yeah,
Excellent. That's
I,
what this is
I
about.
got to express that.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna listen to this.
You know what? Look, it's fine.
Yeah, this is for us.
That's right. It's for us.
But it'd be cool if you hopped into.
Yeah, and then drag your friends along,
Mm-hmm.
but on separate devices.
That's important to
Yeah.
the numbers.
Yeah.
They act different.
We're. I swear we're not just hoeing for views.
Yes, we are.
Okay, we are a little bit,
He
but
is.
but we do want to like, we want to make it we want this to not just be fun for us. We want it to be fun for other people. And bring there's not enough joy left in the world, and we want to bring some back.
Absolutely.
So help us spread that, and then we will capitalize as a byproduct.
It's a byproduct.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm Billy.
This is David.
Yep. And this has been Geek Trasil.
Thanks for listening, guys.